The national self-sabotage that has happened over the last 10 years has to end. That's what I mean by enough is enough. We cannot keep on fighting against these kinds of nation-building projects, these revenue-generating projects, and then still have aspirations to add more and more social programs at the federal level. It doesn't make sense. If you want to support the expansion of social programs to help your people, you've got to generate wealth to tax in order to be able to do it. And I think that is probably the West has gotten around to understanding that faster than some of our friends in the East, but that's okay. And we can work with a coalition of the willing of the Western provinces and territories, which seems to be solidifying. This is I think the reason why the port-to-port concept has gotten such traction with the territorial and provincial leaders, is that we can all see how we can benefit from it. And we're trying to find ways to have our friends in Eastern Canada benefit too, but maybe they have to develop their own projects and their own ideas. Quebec has substantial natural gas resources, and they should develop their own pipelines for their own interests to wean themselves off their reliance on gas from the United States. They should use it to develop their own royalty structure so they can develop their own revenue to pay for their own services for their own people, so that they don't have to rely on transfers that largely come from Western Canada to be able to do it.
The gulf between where we are and where we need to get to is simply a differential of policies. Policies really matter. And when you look at the policies that have been introduced federally over the last decade and what they have done, or the impact, positive or negative, that they've had on the Canadian economy, or specifically the natural resource economy, largely based in Western Canada, versus the policies that have come from a government like the government of Alberta or the government of Saskatchewan, that have always been put in place, yes, to protect our environment and to include all people that can be included and involved in those investments, but have always been put in place with the eye to bringing that investment to our province, to our nation, for the betterment of all Canadians. And so what we hear in words from this new Prime Minister in the existing government are very good. And I would say they're strong statements that are being made. Over the next number of weeks and months, those statements are very quickly going to have to transition into actions. Actions in the way of repealing certain pieces of legislation, changing a number of regulations, and ultimately changing some significant pieces of legislation like the Environmental Impact Assessment Act.
That's, I think, an important national conversation for us to have. But I can tell you that I'm far more interested in working with the coalition of the willing, with those who already get it and already see how we can mutually help each other, rather than trying to push water up a hill. Let's just work with the projects that we know can be successful in short order, benefit us all, and then we can expand the conversation to those who are a little more slowly getting the picture. But I think everybody is coming around to understanding that being on Team Canada means these kinds of projects have to go ahead. We can't just keep saying no.
Oh yeah.
Leave a comment. We'll catch you in the next video. Later, gang. We're out. It's Friday night.